Shauntaya. Hello. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes for folks to jump on. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to give just about a minute or two for folks to jump on. Thanks for joining us. Happy Thursday. Thankful Thursday. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm so excited for this conversation. Very, very excited. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Yasmin Arrington, aka YazzieSpeaks, and I am a 2022 Juvenile Justice Fellow at the Center for Public Justice. And I am your host for CPJ's IG Live series on juvenile probation transformation. We're going, hi, Katie. Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Deborah. All my friends are here. This is going to be a great conversation, you all. I'm so excited. Thank you for joining us. The Center for Public Justice, or otherwise affectionately known as CPJ, is a national nonpartisan Christian public policy and civic engagement organization. Our mission is to equip citizens, develop leaders, and shape policy in the pursuit of God's purpose to serve God, advance justice, and transform public life. CPJ works on a variety of public policy issues, including criminal and juvenile or youth justice reform. As a part of this work over the last 3 years, CPJ has identified juvenile justice and juvenile probation reform as a policy reform priority. Within our juvenile probation reform priority work, we have brought together over 100 faith and community leaders and organizations thus far via virtual convenings to educate and inform them about juvenile probation reform efforts that currently exist and credible messenger programs that exist across the country, and ultimately to offer them very practical ways in which they can get involved in juvenile probation reform work within their communities. CPJ believes that faith-based organizations and houses of worship are critical to this work, and CPJ is invested in inspiring and equipping such institutions who aren't already involved in the work to be a part of transforming juvenile probation within their own communities. For this CPJ Juvenile Probation Transformation IG Live series, say that 5 times fast, an upcoming virtual convening, we are honing in on and highlighting the stories, perspectives, and voices of faith and community leaders who are doing impactful diversion work across the country. Diversion, or the act of diverting, is simply put, is providing opportunities for young people, for children, youth, young adults, to have alternatives to experiencing the embarrassment and criminalization of court trials, incarceration, and or probation. And it is also providing direct services such as mental health supports, mentoring, job training, and many other opportunities to youth and their families to help them positively change the trajectory of their lives. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so the reason we're all here, I'm going to, welcome. I see we have some more guests. All right. Shauntaya, this is your time to shine. I'm going to bring our special guest on. Let me see if I can remember how to request join. Hold on. Let's see if I can remember how to do. Here we go. Okay. So I'm inviting Miss Shauntaya. Hi, Shauntaya.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good, I can't complain.
Good. Okay, I'm going to introduce you. And we'll just get started. Does that sound good?
Yes, it does.
Awesome, awesome. So our esteemed guest, everyone, who is now on the screen, Miss Shauntaya Hester-Ward. Shauntaya is the Youth Program Director for the Diversion Program at the faith-based nonprofit called Foundation of Hope, based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She received her master's degree in leadership and social innovation, along with her bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Point Park University. Shauntaya has been working in social services for over 12 years. She obtained her strengths-based family worker or SFW credentials along with her leadership credentials through Temple University. Shauntaya is a certified CPR, first aid, and AED instructor and owner of Every Heartbeat Counts LLC. Shauntaya says that she truly values the mission of both the Foundation of Hope Youth Diversion Program and Every Heartbeat Counts, giving youth a second chance and teaching them to save a life instead of taking a life. Shauntaya further shares, although we may not change or impact everyone we serve, my goal is to have long-lasting effect on our youth and the community I serve. So without further ado, Shauntaya, welcome. Yes, thank you so much for making time for us.
No problem, no problem.
Yes, yes. All right, let's just jump right on in. Shauntaya, please tell us more about yourself. Tell us your story, where you grew up, your familial and environmental circumstances when you were growing up, and how your faith has led you and shaped your perspective throughout your life.
Oh, wow. So my story is really, really deep. A lot of people don't know a lot of things that I've been through, but I'm 37. I'm from the north side of Pittsburgh. The whole reason why I got into social services, my dad, who just passed away last year from, he overdosed actually, but the reason why I got into social services, he started using at the age of 14. Him and my mom, he had me at 16. My mom was 18. So my whole journey was like kind of to help my dad, find services for my dad, and then I also became a young mother as well. So I wanted to find services that better help myself as well, because of course I was young, I didn't have a job, wanted to go to school, but I had to take care of this baby as well. When I went to school, I started at CCAC. I went for social services. A lot of people try to discourage me from getting into social services because, oh, you don't make any money. You're not really going to be able to sustain a good job. So that didn't really deter me, but it kind of made me go harder because one, I had this son to take care of, but I wanted to kind of prove everybody wrong. And it's crazy because it was like mainly family or friends trying to deter me from going to school for social services. I didn't want to be a statistic of my environment. I kind of just wanted to be better, but again, helping my dad, helping myself, trying to find resources for us to just get out of this way. So after going to CCAC, I obtained my social work degree, an associate's degree. Then I went to Point Park for my bachelor's degree. I went for criminal justice. However, I do not believe in the criminal justice system because of the things that I experienced and I've been through. So all while I'm going for my bachelor's degree, I'm kind of like debating the whole system, what's wrong with the system. So yeah, I did go to school for criminal justice, but I got into these social services, criminal justice, everything kind of to impact the change, because everything has been the same for so many years. And that's the problem. Like, we can't keep doing stuff that we did 50 years ago because it doesn't work today. So after obtaining my criminal justice degree, I got my master's degree. But while I'm getting my master's degree, I'm working in nonprofits. So in Pittsburgh, a lot of nonprofits are predominantly not African American, but I did find a couple of agencies that were African American. And when I'm going into these agencies, and I'm not going to say the last agency's name that I worked at because it did do a whole change on me. But I was like, oh, it was predominantly African American. I'm going to learn from these women. I see African American women, they're going to groom me, they're going to groom me. And when I tell you, it tore me down, like made me just think of, why am I in this mission? What am I here for? When I tell you to nitpicking, when I got my master's degree, it was this horrible, tore me down. So I kind of I put in my 2 weeks at my last nonprofit. And one thing I could say about nonprofits, the whole reason why I got into nonprofits, because I feel like a for-profit is not really for the people. Nonprofits are for the people. You're more able to help when it comes to like security deposits, all that type of stuff. So this last agency, I ended up just praying about it. Honestly, like I didn't have a job. I was like, you know what? Like sometimes you just gotta throw in the white towel, let go and let God. So I ended up putting 2 weeks in, didn't have a job, anything. I prayed about it. I ended up getting a call from Foundation of Hope. So I was making good money at this last agency. I was going through heck and back. It was tearing me down. Like I was literally having anxiety attacks and everything going to work. As I really just like I'm in this to help people. So this job, I actually took 2 steps back. I took a pay cut coming to Foundation of Hope, but I believed in their mission. And when I tell you I'm my executive director at the time, and then my it's now he's the acting Jeffrey Williams. He's the acting executive director right now. When I tell you, they told me like, you know, we're going to groom you, we're going to help you, we believe in you, we believe in everything that you're trying to do. When I tell you, everything that they told me has been true. I've been here 4.5 years. I have got 3 raises, 3 position changes because they really like groom me. They believe in me. They push me. So even though I took a pay cut, I can honestly say I'm glad I took that pay cut, but I will honestly say from that last agency that tore me down and tormented me and just broke me, it honestly broke me. It didn't deter me from still being able to help people, but I'm glad I did take 2 steps back to get to where I need to be. And this is the most amazing agency that I ever have been at. And then a lot of people don't know, this helps with your student loans as well. So that's why I also work for nonprofits, because if you work for a nonprofit for 10 years, it helps you cancel out your student loans. I have a lot of student loan debt, you know, so I'm going to be where they're going to help me. Somebody's going to help me cancel these student loans out. So I'm glad I finally found an agency that appreciates me, appreciates my work, builds me, and they do actually what their mission stands for. They actually help people. So, you know, again, I'm 37 years old. I do have 2 kids. I'm married, of course. But you know, I'm not perfect. My oldest, even though I work with kids, my oldest still drives me crazy, and I'm still trying to get resources for him. So I ask people every day, like just different resources and stuff that I can get my son help. I don't want him to be statistic, and I don't want him to fall into the cracks. So you know, even though I'm helping kids, I'm still trying to get help from my son as well. So it's all been like kind of like a wheel, but taking it day by day.
That's awesome. Awesome. First of all, thank you so much, Shauntaya, for just taking time to elaborate and just take us through your journey. You said a lot, like there was a lot there. No. It's good. It's good. I'm just going to pull out some little pieces that I heard that just kind of stand out to me. And then, you know, we can talk more about the work, you know, how you got into the work that you're in. I mean, you shared the journey, but we'll get a little deeper and then talk about the work of Foundation of Hope and Every Heartbeat Counts and so on and so forth, and how other people can get involved. So side note, I too am the child of a teenage mother. My mother had just graduated. What I had already conceived me in high school, but just as she graduated, I think 18 turning 19, she had me. So I can relate there. And you mentioned how your father was dealing with substance abuse, and that's something that you recognize, and you had this sense of like empathy and compassion and wanting to help, and that says a lot about who you are and your character. And you ended up at this agency that they may have had a mission, but it seemed like it might have been a toxic environment. And so you gathered up the courage, being the woman of faith that you are, and said, I can't do this anymore. This isn't for me. But you took a leap of faith, and I heard you say, I threw the white flag. So that's surrender. That is it takes a lot of courage to step out on faith, especially when you don't know where your next paycheck is going to come from, or you don't know what's next. And so you said you got a call from Foundation of Hope. They brought you on, and you said originally when you came on, it was a pay cut. And so again, another leap of faith. And, you know, you believed in the mission, and you said, I'm going to give this a try. And here you are 4 years later, and you're the director and you're doing so much, and I just want to say, hey, it looks like some of your family and friends and loved ones have joined us. So yes, Shauntaya, like, I just want to honor you and recognize you and thank you for your heart. And like, no matter all, out of all of the things that you've been through, all the pain, all the trauma, all the suffering that you've been through, that you've seen, all of the things you've had to overcome, you're still here. And not only are you surviving, you're thriving, and you're helping other young people and people in your community. And ultimately now, national, because people all over are going to hear and see this. So without further ado, I want to go further. Shauntaya, how did you end up working in specifically with youth and in what we call like diversion work, and serving and working with youth who have been impacted by the juvenile justice system?
So ultimately, I always kind of had worked with adults, like because of the situation with my dad. But what I learned about adults, like, yeah, you could change, but after a certain age, it's like, this is my way, highway. You could give me these resources, but if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. So Jeff Williams, he actually started the diversion program at the Foundation of Hope, and I was just like, I'm gonna get a try. Like, I have kids, I'm good with kids. Let's see if I could just do something different. Because I like adults, but I'm like, I know I could make a better impact with kids. So it was just for real. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So when I started with Jeff, it just went on from there. Like, I never said, oh, I'm going to work with kids. I used to work out of daycares and stuff a long time ago, and I used to be like, oh my God, like, I don't like kids. I don't like other people's kids. It's just so different because I don't know, like, even with my son, it's just like, when I work with these kids, they respect me more, and they kind of value what I'm saying to them opposed to your own. You know what I mean? So it's just different. And like, I really do want to take all these kids home. I love every single one of the kids I have worked with and all the families.
Maybe trade them up, huh? I think that's every parent. Once we get to that, once they get to that teenage stage, it's that, I don't know what it is. It's the hormones.
It's crazy. So yeah, I never had a plan. Never like, oh, I'm going to work with kids. It just kind of fell in my lap, and I just ran with it, honestly.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's awesome. What could you share with us, Shauntaya, more about what the mission of Foundation of Hope is, and what various kinds of work that Foundation of Hope does, and then share with us what your role is at Foundation of Hope and what services you provide to the young people that you serve.
So Foundation of Hope, a lot of people don't know about Foundation of Hope, but it's actually huge. We have a base in the jail. So basically, we work with offenders who have been incarcerated and kind of like reintegrating back into the community. So with any type of resources, housing, jobs, if you need help with your resume, if you need clothing, if you need security deposits, we do all types of stuff. Anything
That's amazing.
that person needs at that time. And that's one thing I could say about Foundation Help. We help in real time. We don't tell you to come back and we're going to help you next month. We help in real time. So we have the pre-release program. They help you in jail before you get released from jail. We have chaplaincy. If you just need somebody to pray for you, pray for your family, you might just need some type of spiritual connection. They come meet with you down the jail. Then we have aftercare. Once you're released from the jail, you come meet with them and they help you get reintegrated.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is there a specific jail within Pittsburgh, or do you all serve multiple prisons and or jails within Philadelphia? Pennsylvania, excuse me.
We're in Allegheny County Jail. However, when people do release from SEIs and stuff like that and get released back to Pittsburgh, we can help as well. But we're in Allegheny County Jail.
Okay. Do they know, like, how do returning citizens know to come to you?
Well, they have a poster plastered in the jail, but again, we have a Facebook account and stuff like that. And we have, but usually case managers refer people to us.
I see. Okay, that's amazing. And then the youth diversion program that Mr. Jeff Williams brought, that was that about 2016, 2017?
So he was actually at another agency before 2017 coming here. But yes, he brought it to the Foundation of Hope of 2017. So we have the youth diversion program. Now we have an adult diversion program because we serve youth from ages 10 to 24. But now we kind of split that up. And then once you're over 18, depending on your charges, you would go to the adult side.
Okay, I see. Can you share with us more, Shauntaya, about the various ways in which youth can be diverted, either from, from the court or probation in Pittsburgh, and also how they're referred to the Foundation of Hope, and about how many youth do you currently serve in a given year?
Okay. So I'll give you an example. I know a lot of things that we see in school now. We see a lot of this fighting, stuff like that. So, before when we were younger, they were just suspending us, and then we would come back to school. Now they are actually charging these kids with assault, which is crazy and beyond me. But that's what's happening. So these kids now have these assault charges. So rather than this kid have assault charge that's going to hinder them from getting an apartment, getting a job, getting into college, the school, well, I'm not going to say all schools because this is part of the problem. Pittsburgh Public Schools, I prayerfully hope that we could really, really work with them. Right now, it's kind of spotty. We're working with certain schools. Either the school, somebody at the school, like a social worker, or once they go over to the magistrate, we'll refer them. They'll work with us for about a minimum of 6 months. If they have any restitution, anything like that, we can help pay. But basically, instead of them working with their probation officer or really communicating with their probation officer, they'll communicate with me. They'll do workshops. I do home visits. I do school visits. If that kid needs an IEP, a 504 plan, I do all of that. If there's other stuff going on in the home, family issues, mental health services, drug and alcohol, I don't just work with the kid. I work with the family as a whole because a lot of times these kids are going to school, but they're dealing with stuff at home. So it's like, how you want me to behave and do all this stuff in school, but I got real life stuff going on at home, like food or lights might be getting cut off. So if the family is in need of all of that, we help with that as well because that's affecting the kid at school. So we get referrals from the police officers, the magistrates, the regular court system, and then some schools. But the kid works with us a minimum of 6 months. If they are compliant with everything I put on their service plan, then basically they'll rip those charges up like they never happened. And then we'll get those charges erased off their background. And that's part of the problem too, because sometimes you work with some of these places that'll say, oh, I'm gonna get these charges erased off their background, but then you go apply for something at 20, these charges were never erased off their background. So that's the most important piece, is to get that stuff erased off their background.
I see.
And then, like I said, with these kids being young, the parents are responsible for any restitution and court costs that they have. So I don't want my families to encounter any more costs than they can't afford. So
right.
we help with restitution and cost as well. So anybody in the community can refer to our agency. We take referrals all year round, anytime, any day. If you and they don't necessarily have to commit a crime. If you know somebody who's possibly going down the wrong path and they need help, they need somebody to talk to, you can refer them to us. We don't discriminate. They just need somebody to talk to. You can refer them to us. There's no rhyme or reason to it, honestly. Like, we just want to help.
That's amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for all that you all do, because I mean, everything that you mentioned are very real challenges and struggles for so many young people and families. From your perspective, Shauntaya, what is working well in the diversion work that you all are doing, and what are also some of the challenges that you face, and maybe what are a couple of ways you wish to see this work improve and or scale, like expand?
So I would say what's working well for us is that we actually really, how you go to a lot of places like the welfare system and stuff like that, and you're just a number, and a lot of those caseworkers, like the money and stuff is coming out of their pocket. We really care. Like, we establish rapport with our kids and our families, and if I say I'm going to do something, just know it's going to happen. Like, we have follow through. I wouldn't just say with the diversion program, because this is Foundation of Hope as a whole. That's just something that we pride ourselves on. Just follow, this support. So I would say that's working well for us. And then I would say, like, just not even just dealing with whoever's referred to. We come from a strength-based approach. So we handle the family as a whole, not just that kid. We work with the whole family. So if Uncle Bob is standing on your couch and he needs to get off the couch, we're going to help Uncle Bob as well. So
I know that's right.
It's a whole. It's whole. So I would say that's working well for us. I would say the only what's not working is just still being, well, we just moved, so we're still getting situated over here on the north side, but a lot of people don't know about us. So we're just getting our name out there and just getting buy-in from like Pittsburgh Public Schools, that's our hope for this year, to get more referrals from them, because I know that we could definitely help in that aspect. We do work with some of the schools. Some of the social workers actually reached out to us, but I kind of just want to work with them, like every school in the Pittsburgh public school, because we're missing a lot of kids. And they're dropping the ball on a lot of kids. So my hope is to be with them this year. Um, that's the only thing I would say that's really not working, because that the more kids we get, the more people we can help, and we can show that why we kind of need to expand, because we're expanding across Pittsburgh, but is this hindering us not having the referrals that we need? So this having buy-in, but I want honestly say we do have buy-in from like the Pittsburgh and other community agencies. Everybody believes, everybody supports us, but hopefully Pittsburgh Public Schools.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember you telling me prior that, you know, that's a partnership y'all are working on. So I'm praying for success. We're claiming that, you know,
Yes.
because like you said, a lot of young people are still falling through the cracks, and you know, they could and will have different outcomes if they're just by being connected to you all.
Right.
So, um, you sort of answered this, but if there's anything else you want to add, please do. How do you all partner with police, probation officers, and school administrators to ensure the success of your youth and in the program?
So I have a team. I want to say it's like an advisory team. So we have a member from each like community partner that we work with. So we have somebody from we have somebody from Housing Authority, Presley Red, Boys and Girls Club. So we meet with them one just to say what's working, what's not working, how can we do better, what changes do we need to make, what can we add, and then we also like meet with our kids as well and ask them what activities and what workshops do you guys want to do. So I think just having that and just we're not trying to do everything ourselves, and that's another problem with a lot of agencies. Is like you want to apply for these grants and different type of stuff, but you want to do everything yourself, and we can't do everything ourselves.
Right.
Therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I had to refer out. So basically, us having all these different partners, we're able to have an individual at each community partner to say, okay, well, I may do this referral for your mental health. And the family say, hey, Shauntaya, I haven't heard from them. I may call somebody and get somebody in roll time and say, what's going on with this referral? And we kind of like establish like kind of like allies to where we don't have for our clients. So yeah, there might be a wait list due to the pandemic for mental health services across the board, but not really with us because we take priority and we have follow through with our families. So it's all about networking and it's working with each other as partners. And there's so many community agencies who do various different activities and different services, and that's the problem. Like a lot of people aren't coordinating with them. And being that we're like currently north side based right now, I wouldn't refer anybody from on the north side to a different area in Pittsburgh that they can't get to. So we want to get services and community partners in each demographic area of Pittsburgh that these families are able to get to, whether they have to walk, catch the bus, Uber, or whatever, so they could go to services. Because you know, a lot of people say, "Well, I'm not going over there because that's all East Liberty, and I can't get there. How am I get there?" But now you can't say that because I found somebody in
It's right there in your neighborhood. Right. Wow. Amazing. Okay. This is good. So as CPJ, we value faith and community partnerships and youth justice and juvenile probation reform work. Shauntaya, can you give us some specific examples of how you all partner with also community members and faith-based leaders and organizations to provide services to your youth, especially like maybe some workshops and maybe internship job opportunities, that kind of thing?
We partner with so many different people. I can't even. I'm probably forgetting a lot of people, and sorry if I am. But one of the workshops that we do currently do Tuesdays, we partner with the Girls Club, and that's for our youth. It could be any topic that they want to talk about. So they could talk about stuff that's going on, like gun violence and stuff like that that's going on in the community right now. Or they could talk about like sex education. They could talk about drug, anything that they want to talk about. So we partner with the Boys and Girls Club. That's on Tuesdays. And we also partner with Common Threads. That is on Thursdays. And it's basically teaching the youth, not only the youth, but the families as well, how to make a healthy meal. So we understand like some of our families are getting public assistance and that type of stuff, but we don't know how to make healthy meals because we're just trying to make fast meals because we're tapping all this other stuff. So therefore our youth are learning how to like measure, make different type of stuff, and they can take that back to their family. And if their family wants to come, they're able to join us as well. And then with that, our space were used over there at Comfort Inn and Suite on the north side. They let us use their kitchen on Thursdays, so we partner with them because right now we don't have a kitchen, so we're using theirs. But we do workshops also with oh my gosh, so many people. UPMC, we do smoking addiction station, and there's vaping. The list goes on. And if there's anybody on here who offers workshops, like we would definitely plug you in and do workshops with our kids. But we partner with Presley Ridge, that's who does our mental health services, Three Rivers, Drug and Alcohol. We have so many partners.
And you mentioned also, can you share, I don't want to like steal the thunder, but you also shared like for young people that need haircuts, you all part, and then also like the coat drives and all.
So okay, so I'll start with the haircut. So for instance, everybody in our program does have to do a minimum of 20 hours of community service, right? So if they wreck anything in their community, we try to make them do the community service in their community, not really like on another side where they really don't appreciate and care about. But say for instance that a kid wants to potentially be a barber or potentially be a hairdresser, we make them do that. We help them do the community service at a barber shop or with a hairdresser, something that they're really interested in, that they don't feel like they're doing community service. So we partner with them, and then we recently had a coat drive. Actually, with Northside Tables and Chairs, we did that in November. So hopefully, we could do another one this year. And we raised, I want to say, we got about 200 coats.
That's amazing.
And we were able to not just provide Northside diversion, like our kids with coats, but other community partners as well. We gave those coats as well. So it definitely was a blessing and a help, because a lot of our kids, if you see them, they're walking around in hoodies. They don't own a coat. Worked out. But yeah, so wherever they want to do community service and that type of thing, we do try to make it kind of interesting. And then we also do our community service project with Boys and Girls Club, and their family is able to help them with that community service as well. And you'll be surprised, like this year we actually had like a couple families where the mom, the dad, sisters and stuff actually showed up to help their kid with that community service.
That's amazing.
They didn't have to do it, but they
That's
help.
awesome. So it becomes a family affair. And I'll say that's a very, I think, amazing and interesting element that Foundation of Hope has for the young people you work with, because not all, I haven't, at least those that I've spoken with, not all diversion programs require or engage youth in community service. Yeah. So, and you all make it very meaningful. Like you said, you want them to give back within their community, in their neighborhood, and doing something that's of interest to them, so that there's, they're happy about it, there's interest. So that's amazing.
Regardless if they have they're like affiliated with probation or anything, like anybody who's in our program, whether you just want to just be enrolled because you just want somebody to talk to, everybody does community service. That's just across the board, so it's fair. And we actually, our staff does do the community projects and stuff and community service with them as well, so they're not alone. We're always with them as well. So
I love it. I love it. And Shauntaya, please remind me, how long is the like in terms of the time that's required for them to have completed the program? I know that students may stay connected with you beyond, but can you, is it 6 months?
Yeah, so with probation, it's a minimum of 6 months because they can only hold charges for so long. And then after that, like a lot of our kids opt to stay with us, which is a blessing as well. And we usually keep them up from anywhere like 6 months to a year, but some of our kids have been with us for 2 years. It's their ultimately their choice, but yeah, minimum of 6 months, and that's only the kids that have been referred by probation.
Okay, and can you remind me how many students you all serve? Because this is a lot.
Well, currently we have about 30, but hopefully we have more in the fall.
Absolutely.
We're looking to hire more case managers. We want more kids. Please send us your kids. We want more kids. But that's what we have right now. We have the capacity to take more. We have the capacity to hire. But usually our case managers keep between 15. I really don't want case managers to have more than that on their caseload. So I do help with case flow and take overflow. But hopefully we can hire, get some more kids in. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the like comments. There it is. Okay. I'm trying to get out so we can see your pretty face. Okay, my last question is, what advice would you give to faith? Well, this is my second to last question. What advice would you give to faith-based leaders and organizations who want to get engaged in this work? What are some practical ways in which they can get involved?
Well, first, I'm gonna say, like, even if you have a business and you want to, because like for me, every heartbeat counts, and that into um, the Virgin program. So if you want to work with us, all you have to do is just email us. You stop over. We're on the North Side 504 Susan Street. Um, we always taking donations, clothes, everything like that. But I would say for like the bigger partners and the bigger agencies, I would just say just have buy-in. If you're not familiar with our services, don't assume. Come back as look us up. But we have so many various services that we offer, and a lot of people don't know about us because we're a small agency, but we offer so much for us to be an agency. So just donate, ask questions, stop over. We're always here. Somebody's always able to meet you. We don't turn anybody away. So just come over.
Thank you, Shauntaya. Is there anything else, like anything else you want to share, or maybe there's something I didn't ask, or is there anything else you want to share?
I don't know. I mean, besides, one thing I could say, so again, with my agency, partnering with the Virgin, we do have a lot of gun violence going on in the community. So every single one of our kids are also CPR certified, AED certified. So with that being said, like we have a lot of kids who are staying home, babysitting kids this summer. We also do like a babysitting training with our youth as well, because we can't dictate how the kid is letting your child stay home, but we want them to be safe. So we do like a resume kind of like writing with them, just teach them how to properly babysit in case they are watching their brother and sister or any other youth in the area. So everybody, it doesn't matter how they were referred. Every youth is certified in first aid and CPR because, like, again, our goal is to teach them to save up, especially with all the gun violence. And we also just got awarded a grant for to deal with like, stuff like that. So we've been partnering with a lot of agencies. So that's like really our mission, like help and alleviate any gun violence, any deaths and stuff like that. So we also do training with our kids. That's a fiction. We do anything that they encounter, we do trainings on as well. So all my staff are certified in those other areas as well, as long as me. But anything that the kids can think of, we go to the kids' games. If the kid is in the football program and they have a game, basketball game, our case managers go to their games. So we don't just work a 9 to 5. Sometimes we work late days and sometimes we work Saturdays. But if our youth want us there because they don't, sometimes not have a lot of family support, we go to those games and we go to all their graduations and stuff like that. Any accolade in their life, we make sure that we're in attendance because we want to show them that we're supportive beyond just the diversion program. Like we really do care. And even if they're not in our program no more and they call and say, hey, I'm graduating tomorrow or I have this event tomorrow, we're there.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And that support really goes a long way. Young people, like sometimes they just need to know that somebody cares, and when somebody's showing up and cheering you on or just there to smile and give you a hug and give you flowers, it just makes such a big difference. So well, thank you so much, Shauntaya. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your personal story and journey. This has just been amazing and so informative. And we're cheering you on, and we're a part of your network and support system. Even though we're in the DMV, what'd you say?
We need you here. We need your services in Pittsburgh.
Yes, we're just a hop, skip, and a hop, skip, and a jump. We could take the MARC train or something like that and be there in a few hours. So, Shauntaya, can you tell us where we can find Foundation of Hope on the website and online?
Yep, our website is foundationofhope.org. You can also find us on Facebook. Just type in Foundation of Hope. I'm on Facebook as well, but I'm very, very private, and I really don't post anything work related on my page. So you can just go on Foundation of Hope. But we're at community events. You'll always see us any community event. So if you have any upcoming community events that you would like us to attend and we don't know about, you could definitely just email us. We always take volunteers, interns as well. That you can apply for that on the website as well. But yeah, check us out.
Thank you, Shauntaya. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This was an amazing conversation. It really was. I hope you learned. I learned a lot about the work of Foundation of Hope and diversion. You know, what's diversion and diversion programming and all the different kinds of services and supports that Foundation of Hope offers young people, as well as Every Heartbeat Counts LLC. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining this powerful conversation. Please make sure to follow the Center for Public Justice on Instagram at Center Public Justice, and be on the lookout for information on our upcoming conversations. Our next Transforming Juvenile Probation conversation will be with directly impacted individuals who are now working and serving in mission-based juvenile probation reform, diversion, and violence prevention programs. Organizations. So please mark your calendars and join us on Thursday, July 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a conversation with Miss Mary Hall. Ms. Mary Hall is the program coordinator at the Connecticut Violence Prevention Program, or otherwise known as CTVIP. And on Thursday, August the 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Mr. Aquil Crooks, who is the supervisor of the Juvenile Review Board, or JRB, and of RIASAP's Street Safe Bridgeport in Connecticut. So we were just in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania just now with Miss Shauntaya Hester at the Foundation of Hope. And in a couple of weeks, we will venture to Connecticut and learn